Hello guys, welcome to Korean Tapas episode 19 and this is Minki Kim. How are you my friends?
Sweating, so hot.
It's not hot in Barcelona. I mean, a little bit, but not too crazy.
Oh
Not too
yeah?
crazy.
In Seoul, it's like walking in the water. When you walk outside, it's literally like walking in the water.
Sauna.
I remember when it was there in July, end of July, and it was hell. Yeah,
Wow.
You know, many Koreans when we think about Spain, we always think about the sun and the hot weather.
and it's true. Like I mean, if you go to Madrid, it's very dry, very hot. But Barcelona is more humid, maybe like Seoul, right?
Mhm.
But still, this week is not too bad. I could sleep nicely. No AC, no nothing. So good.
Okay, so in this weather, one of the Koreans' typical hobby is watching movie in the cinema. Since the weather is so hot and humid in Korea, when we ask to our friends that what we're gonna do, and we always say, "Okay, let's go to the movie." So today's our topic is the movie culture. Let's grab some popcorn and go to the cinema. Okay. So, Jisang, you first. Do people usually watch movie in the cinema in Korea?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, as everybody knows, for the last 2 years, there were lots of restrictions, even for the cinemas as well. So nowadays, I can obviously see that more and more people are willing to go to cinemas to watch new movies.
Ricard?
Yeah, I'm surprised that you say that it's like classical plan. Go to the movies. I haven't been in the movies for ages, man. Question about movies: do you usually like in Korea? Do you get the movies only in the theaters, or do you get the movies also like in streaming? Because here it feels like you get them in streaming, and people don't go to the movies anymore.
But still, there are lots of blockbuster movies that you only premieres in the cinemas. No.
Sure, I think recently Top Gun. I
Hmm.
wanted to watch it, but only in cinema. So I said, I don't know. I'm gonna wait, until I get it home. It used to be popular here, but I don't think it's as popular now as you guys have it in Korea.
So, like statistically, over 200 million Koreans watch movie in cinema in 2019, and then the one average person watched 4 times movie in the year in the cinema. So, like, unlike the OTT series as like Netflix, Disney, we usually go to the cinema with our friends or our girlfriend or boyfriend or even parents.
But 4 times doesn't seem too much, right? I mean, 4 times a year, is it a lot for you guys? 4 times?
I mean, for me, it obviously seems like the average number.
Like if you have, I mean, if you have girlfriend or boyfriend, like for example, I go to the cinema maybe once a month.
Ah, but it's like for dating, a date.
Date one is for date and one is with friend. That like we it's one of the most frequent question. What we gonna do? And let's go to the movie.
But Binky, you didn't go to movie with me ever.
Then
Okay.
somebody's lying here. Yeah.
Okay. In my case, I prefer drinking, but but I'm talking the average person, that or average the woman. They usually go to the movie. I think.
But then you said once a month, so 12 times a year. You're at the end of the statistic. We said the average is 4, but you go 12. Okay, that's more like, yeah, 12. Why not once a month? Doesn't seem.
Once a month sounds like obviously a huge number for me as well.
How about the price? How much is it in Spain to the cinema?
So I had to Google it because again it's been so long. But
Okay, you googled it.
so it turns out in a cinema near my place, regular price is 9 euros, right, for a single ticket. But then always usually, I don't know if it's a Spain thing or also in other countries, but you have like special day called Dia del Espectador in Spanish, where it's a little bit cheaper. In this case, it's 8 euros if you go to that specific day. So you save 1 euro. How much is it in Seoul?
In Korea, I think the basic price level might be more or less, um, in euros it might be 10 euros, but that's the cheapest one. And there are tons of um, events or some of the ways to get discount. I mean, especially for the movie tickets, there are lots of special coupons. So there are only a few people who pay the full price.
Actually, in my case, I prefer the movie with the IMAX. So when I watch the IMAX movie, I pay around 20 euro for one.
Wow. Okay.
Like, but there's no space to sit since the IMAX is one of the most popular movie for the spectacular.
Wait, is that the one that is like all around or super big screen?
Exactly.
Okay.
So like Dune, or it's a lot like Lord of the Ring or Harry Potter, something like that.
But just saying, you said once a month is a lot for you, but you probably catch movies at home more than once a month, right?
Um,
Or not? Okay, you're the football guy, runner guy, hiking guy. Okay, no, you're a bad example.
no.
Or
When
activity.
when I watch movie, I prefer to go to cinemas rather than watch movies on TV. But it's like my personal preference. So.
Okay, so maybe that is connected with the second question. So why do people go to the cinema?
I think for Korea, you said that you want to have AC, air conditioning, so that's one reason.
Hmm. Hmm.
Here, I would say for the big screen, right? I mean, big screen that you don't have at home, but also what Jisang said before, that you have blockbuster movies that are only released on the cinema. So when you go back to work or school, everybody's talking about the movie you haven't seen, so you're forced to go to the cinema. But I would say slowly here, at least in Spain, they have been closing cinemas, at least in my area, right? You've seen it recent years. Most cinemas are closing down, I guess because of Netflix, HBO, Amazon Prime, all those services. And people at home have better and better screens, right? So I'm lucky enough to have a 55-inch screen at home. I spent a lot of money on it when I moved here. And people have this great setup that you say, okay, maybe it's not that bad at home. I have great sound, great screen. I don't really need to go to the cinema. What about you guys?
Quite similar, and to add some extra reasons, I want to say that in my case, I think it's easier to focus on the movie itself when we go to the cinemas, because at home there are lots of um, matters that distract us from focusing on the story of the movie. And plus, this might be a very personal reason, but I don't know if it's the truth or not. But for me, the taste of popcorn in the cinemas are way better than the popcorn that we buy from the market, I guess.
That's the butter, the grease.
Exactly,
For
yeah.
sure, for sure.
I mean, I'm serious, man.
Oh yeah, I know you're telling the truth.
That's a dilemma I have, right? So here you go to the supermarket and you see the popcorn, right? You can either like buy just the corn, the pure corn, which has nothing. It's just corn, right? It's a bag of corn, and then you put it on your pan, and you just make them pop. That's super healthy. There's nothing, just but corn. But then, of course, you have like 10 other brands, like popcorn with salt in a specific bag that you just put in the microwave and it just, does the magic directly, but it has, butter and more fatness and oils and 200 kilograms of salt. So it's not something you would want to eat probably every week or every day. So I try to go for pure corn.
So in my case, I usually go to the cinema with my girlfriend. Since I read some article that the reason that Korea used to go to cinema that much is that the go to the cinema is cheap. Like, I told that we pay around 10 euro for one movie, right? Then one movie lasts about 2 hours or something. And in Korea, if you have to spend more than 2 hours, then you'll pay more than 20 euro at least in the cafe or when you drink something. Like we always, when we have a date, we usually pay something.
That's a very pragmatic way of thinking. I mean, yeah, sure. You go to the cafe and you have what is it, coffee Americano for 10 euros in your special
E-
coffee shops in Seoul.
Cafe
Yeah, right.
Americano with
Right.
cake,
Yeah, right,
cookies.
right, right. So it's cheaper to go to the cinema. That's Good
Mm.
approach.
I mean, I read the article and I agreed a part.
I don't know the exact um, context in the article, but I think I mean for me as well. Most of the times, the person with whom I go to movie is my girlfriend, obviously. But that doesn't exactly mean that going to the cinemas is like the top activity that we do together. So I cannot agree totally. I mean, half and half, I guess.
Guys, you gotta go together to the movies. So please, this weekend, Jisang and Minki, you just make yourself a couple and go to the cinemas because you never went
Okay.
before, and you gotta
Oh,
experience the friendship
okay.
and
Before
the
drinking.
Yeah, buy me popcorn.
and exactly the good fat popcorn. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. So next question: what kind of movie do you watch usually, personally?
Especially for the cinemas, I prefer to watch some action movies, obviously, because
Mm,
that genre is the one that makes the biggest difference between watching movies at home and watching in the cinemas. So I
mhm.
obviously prefer the movies with action genre.
Yeah, totally agree with Chang. Definitely, yeah. Space stuff, shooting stuff. Yeah, that's those are the ones. Yeah.
On the other hand, I don't usually watch comedy movies in the cinemas. For me, it's like wasting of money.
I feel the same way, man. It's like just talking, just do it at home, right? I mean, Netflix. That's you don't have to. Yeah, yeah. I get it.
But isn't it funny with being with people laughing?
No, it's the opposite. Like, I mean,
Oh,
somebody's laughing
opposite.
in your ear. Just stop laughing, man. The joke is not funny. So it's, it's I don't
Oh
know.
my god. Oh my god. Really? Okay.
So you go for any kind of movie, Minky?
Sometimes I go to the cinema alone with some, what can I say, the arts movie. There's some French movie or
Oh,
the independent movie that that is not famous.
but usually your girlfriend chooses the movie, right? So you don't have a say on it, or
Okay, with my girlfriend, I usually go to watch some romantic comedy or some, like, what can I say, the not good, funny movie
funny movie.
or popular or some bright colored.
Yeah, I wanted to say that you're watching like these movies, and what percentage is like Korean movies versus Western movies or American movies or whatever it is?
Like in my side, I think it's like 50-50.
Okay, that's a lot more than I thought. At least from my case, I like almost never watch Spanish movies. I don't know. I just don't like them, man. Usually, it's I don't know. It's hard. I'm a fan of the big productions and American stuff. So yeah, so usually it's like yeah, Netflix productions, HBO productions, which sell with dollars, not with Spanish euros. But it's surprising that you guys go 50. What about you, Jisang? Is it 50-50? Is it more Korean, more?
I think I watch more Korean movies, but so it'd be like 2 to 1. I mean the ratio.
Double. Okay. 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 Second question is how much of the non-Korean movies are actually dub, or is it just subtitles? If you go to
Ah,
Star Wars, is it in Korean or is it subtitles?
in Korea, I mean you just asked us a good question because I recently figured out that depending on the preference of the specific country, there are certain countries where they prefer dubbing, but in Korea, 100% subtitle except for the children's movie.
Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's very impressive because when we were a kid, when we were children, there were lots of movies with Korean dubbing, but nowadays it's totally changed and everybody prefers watching with subtitles.
Interesting. Here it's complete opposite. I mean, there's a lot of like traction or interest or like the industry here of dubbing movies, right? There's a lot like my cousin is a voice actress, right? And she does movies and TV shows. And yeah, but here you're the rare one if you go to subtitles. Like, you're going to the like original version with subtitles. Who are you, man? Rather than
Oh,
going to the yeah. Like, you're the strange one if you go to because not all cinemas have original versions. Most the big cinemas usually have like dub versions, like Star Wars in Spanish, right? But you have smaller cinemas around Barcelona which offer only like English with subtitles. So you gotta know where to go. It's not like probably a cinema will have mixed. Probably not. It's just specialized.
But in my opinion, the voice is really important for the actors, no? Like for the acting and the feelings.
Oh, but have you watched like a famous movie in Spanish like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings? And the acting is good.
Ye-
Is it not?
yes, I know they're acting good, but what I wanted to say is that like it's different. It's different between the original.
Yeah, of course, it's different. But what I'm trying to say is that I've watched like other countries dubbing movies, and it's horrendous. Like you can tell it's not good. The voice, the mouth does not match what they're saying. And here, I think they spent a lot of money on doing it properly, and you really, okay, of course, not the same thing, not the same feeling. And I'm the one who watches subtitles, but when you watch a big production in Spanish, like okay, it's not. I mean, they're doing a good job, man.
What is your favorite movie? Maybe this is some difficult question for someone.
It's complicated, man. I mean, I like so many movies.
Or
To
one
choose
or two.
one or two, it's complicated. I mean, I usually I don't know, man. Now, we were talking about Star Wars. I think the originals are fantastic. The new ones, no, but I think one of the trilogies I usually go back once a year is Back to the Future. Do you guys remember?
Mm,
Those are really good, and they came out so early, like so many years ago, and it was so relevant, and I still watch them now, and it's like, oh man, these are so good. Like they have aged very well, these movies, right? And yeah, I love them. The concept is fantastic. I love time travel, and they set a precedent for so many movies after them. Like you have so many movies afterwards, they mention Back to the Future, or TV shows that say, yeah, this is not like Back to the Future. They always like try to they talk about these movies in other movies because they made this genre, and it's I like it. I love it.
Do I have to pick the movie from Hollywood or?
No,
whatever.
anywhere. Yeah. Independent studio in a small island in the New Zealand, also possible.
Yeah, but for our international listeners, I want to mention some movies from Hollywood. Interstellar and Zootopia. Those are the two best movies that I like.
Those are
Oh,
very different.
it's
Those are completely different, but I really like those two movies because so first Interstellar is a movie that shows the almost the limit of humans' imagination based on the scientific theory. So it was totally amazing. And Zootopia, even though I don't like the animation genre, I think that movie contains all the lessons and factors with very cute characters altogether. So even though it seems like a movie for only children, but the lesson it has is completely for the adults, I guess. So
No, no,
that's
no. I
why.
mean, I'm with you, man. They are like animation movies that are very mature. Like, what was that last one? What's it called? Blue. That movie called Soul. I think it was. Have you watched it? Soul.
oh, so
Yeah. I mean, if like a 10-year-old kid watches that movie, it says, "Oh yeah, it's cute," and there's these souls running around, and but you as an adult, you see this movie in a completely different perspective, the main character and all that goes through, and it's like, man, this movie has so much potential for being an animation, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree.
I cried when I watched Soul.
Oh,
I
okay.
really, I cried.
Anyhow, I rarely watch the same animation movie several times, but Zootopia, I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
So my favorite movie is Dark Knight. You know, the Batman. So this is I called it masterpiece. There's no flaw. There's no flaw. It's like you can see the great actors acting and the great director. The not only about the superhero but about the philosophy that they had is like I still when I think about my life, I s- I still imagine the Dark Knight. What is the truth? What is the lie? Or what is the way that I need to pursue? So please, yes, please watch Dark Knight.
From Batman, I really love the old ones. Maybe I remember when I was a kid, and I used to watch the original ones with the Joker, Jack Nicholson, and
Ah,
also the Penguin, and that was scary, man. I mean, back then Jack Nicholson was really like the Joker. It was scary, man. But yeah, the modern ones, of course, more action, more explosions. That's yeah.
okay, maybe this will be the last question. Since our Korean tapas is for Spain and Korea, I I'd like you to recommend us the Korean and Spain movie. So watch it, like only not Hollywood, not Europe, not French, only Spain and Korea.
So are you asking that we have to recommend one from each?
It doesn't have to be the Korean. Recommend Korea. I would recommend one Spanish movie. So like,
I'm having a hard time, man. Oh, I can talk about that movie. I don't know if I would recommend it, but the movie is called Ode to My Father. If you like to cry, just watch this movie. It's super sad, war and poverty and families divided, and yeah, I remember going to the cinema because my Songsanim, my teacher, my Korean teacher, she said you gotta watch this movie. It's very good. So I went to the cinema, one of those cinemas that have original versions, right, like this one, and near my place. Um, the theater was not crowded, but I remember being there, man. And at the end, tears were flowing, man. I was watching left and right, and people were crying. It's like this one is a tough one. I don't usually like drama movies. It's like I I want to enjoy my time, not not cry. But yeah, out to my father, do it. It's good. But wait, now I have one. I have one which is good, more or better. It's called hold on, War of Arrows. Do you remember this one, or do you know this one? War of
okay,
Arrows. It's
what are
Korean, right?
you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, War of Arrows, original title, I don't know, Choi Jong Byung Gi Hwal. Anyway, um, never mind, movie from 2011, and it's about a man whose sister is getting married to someone else, and they kidnap her or something, and the guy is really good at throwing arrows with a bow, and of course, and it's so interesting because of course it's like Korean bow, which is different than other types of bows, traditional bow, and it's so well done, like the effects and what the guy can do with arrows, and it's not fantasy. It looks very real, and I did enjoy it because action, war, and a little bit martial arts. Good. War of Arrows. Watch it.
Oh, great! And to some Korean listeners, "Oath to My Father" in Korean title is 국제시장. You can watch the whole history, like recent history of Korea. So I recommend it.
I want to recommend the movie that portrays the, how to say, it's a fiction, but it's a movie that portrays a sad history of Korea. I mean, the movie about the Korean War. It's called 태극기 휘날리며. In English, it's called Brotherhood of War. So this is a fiction based on the historical fact that happened in Korean Peninsula like half century ago. So it's like the sad story that happened between the brothers. That the older brother had to go to North Korean army, and the younger brother had to go to South Korean army. So even though it's the fiction, the story is quite well made and solid. So I really want to recommend watching this movie to the Spanish viewers because obviously this movie shows the unique characteristic of Korean history.
Yeah, it's a drama too. Like one of the Korean's strong genre is drama. So I want to recommend. Okay, it's about Spain, but I know that it's Hollywood movie. The title is Laberinto del Fauno, which is called like Pan's Labyrinth. This is about fairy tale about Fauno in Spain, but also it's related to history, recent history of Spain. So the fairy tale connects with the civil war in Spain. When I watched it, I got really shocked about the characters, but also tragedy of Spain, and it was so similar with Korea since we had a war, and now we have divided into two country, and the conclusion of the movie was so shocking too. I strongly recommend this movie to the Korean and Spain and other country people.
Now that you said to Koreas, I have one more movie, one more drama for you. You guys probably seen it, but Spanish listeners know The Spy Gone North, original title Gonjak, about the man who goes to the north as a spy, and I thought it was very well done. It gets you a glimpse on the north, and yeah, that was interesting to me.
You really know many Korean movies.
I know many things about many things.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Just kidding.
So today we talked about movie since the weather is so hot. Not only in Korea, but I'm sure that also Barcelona and Spain is hot too. So in Wednesday, in Culture's Day, when you have some free time, go to the cinema. So thank you guys, and let's see another day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.